Hello, I'm Simon Thompson, and this is The Big Picture. One of the best things about the winter months is the bright stars on the dark evenings, and there's no better place to see the brightest stars than on the big screen at your local cinema. As well as looking at November's movies, we also chat to the stars of The Adventures of Tintin, First Knight, The Help, and Take Shelter. It's November, it's The Big Picture. Time is power as Justin Timberlake turns action movie star in Time.
Just want something to have more time in my hand than hours in the day.
This is the premise. In the future, people stop aging at 25 and must work to buy themselves more time. When a young man finds himself with more time than he can imagine, he must run from the corrupt police force to save his life.
Do you even know how to drive?
What's there to know?
Justin Timberlake, Amanda Seyfried, Olivia Wilde and Cillian Murphy star in this action thriller directed by Andrew Niccol, who gave us sci-fi classic Gattaca.
Cost of living keeps rising to make sure people keep dying. The truth is, no one has to die before their time.
Although Olivia Wilde plays Justin's mother in the film, in real life, he's actually older than her.
His crime wasn't taking time. He was giving it away.
That model ship conceals a clue to one of the greatest treasures in all history. Good boy, Snowy.
Steven Spielberg directs and Peter Jackson produces as Tintin and Captain Haddock set off on a treasure hunt for a sunken ship commanded by Haddock's ancestor. But someone else is also in search of the same ship.
I will find it, with or without your help.
When the film had its UK premiere in London, naturally The Big Picture was port, starboard and all points in between.
I'm really excited about bringing Tintin. I mean, this has been a whole new experience for us with the technology and you know, beloved series of books in Europe. So we felt that there was a lot of responsibility associated with trying to get this right.
We'd already got some way down the line of thinking that it should be the story of the first meeting of Haddock and Tintin, because that's such a brilliant story.
We pretty much filmed the whole movie in one room. The locations of the movie span from the middle of the ocean to the middle of the desert to a Moroccan city. What the guys from Weta Digital down in New Zealand have brought to life and managed to get to our screens is unbelievable.
Great fun, and you know, I mean, I was a big fan of the Tintin books as a kid, so I kind of knew the flavour and I just, you know, we just had fun with it. That was sort of the real deal.
I went to see Steven Spielberg just about the possibility of perhaps writing on it with Edgar and Joe, and Steven just said during the interview, "Would you like to be in it?" And I said, "Yes."
They needed two people who had a kind of weird simpatico and a connection, and me and him were it.
Motion capture is just a tool. It is essentially an animated movie.
Put your hands up!
Weta have been working on it for like at least 3 years. I don't think anybody going to see the film won't be astonished by the amount of work that's gone into it.
I want Tintin!
Several years ago, he was asked to manage all of your pensions. Right now, they're saying that anyone who invested with Mr. Shaw has been defrauded.
If you need me, I'll be living in this box.
Ben Stiller, Eddie Murphy and Matthew Broderick appear on screen together for the first time in Tower Heist.
We're not criminals. We don't know how to steal.
Don't worry. I know someone who does.
I will blow your face clean off your face!
Brett Rush Hour Ratner is the man behind this action comedy about a group of workers who find out they've fallen victim to a wealthy businessman's dodgy scheme and team up to rob his high-rise residence.
I was on a job a few days ago where my homie got shot in the face. Get shot in the head, it's over. If you get shot in your head, it's over. If you get shot in your face, the bullet will go in your cheek, then come out the other side. Then what you gonna do? Die. I'm gonna die.
You'll probably recognise the maid, Gaburi Sidibe. She was nominated for an Oscar in 2010 for her performance in Precious.
You know this is a bad idea, right? That's it. I don't want you talking to me for the rest of the robbery.
The North Pole. In this harsh land, almost nothing can survive.
Hello!
This is the first festive film out of the blocks this year, and it's from the team at Aardman, with a UK voice cast to die for. James McAvoy, Hugh Laurie, Bill Nighy, Jim Broadbent and Imelda Staunton. Christmas has come early.
Operation Santa Claus is coming to town.
Go! Go! Go!
Engage rooftops. Ho, ho, ho.
On Christmas night at the North Pole, Santa's youngest son looks to use his father's high-tech operation for an urgent mission.
A child's been missed!
You want to wake up the whole North Pole?
Good idea!
A child's been missed!
This is the second consecutive film written by Peter Baynham to have the name Arthur in its title. The first being Arthur, starring Russell Brand.
You're coming too, lad.
Me?
Dasher. Dancer. What are the others called? I could never ruddy remember. Bambi?
The Help is about an aspiring author during the civil rights movement of the 1960s who decides to write a book detailing the African-American maid's point of view on the white families they work for.
What book? The Help! H-E-L-P.
The Big Picture caught up with the film's director and some of the cast at the UK premiere.
It's such an incredible role. It's few and far between, so it was really wonderful and exciting.
I auditioned and met a lot of amazing women, and we made the movie the old-fashioned way. We saw people, and the best people got the jobs.
I like playing complexities. It's what I was trained to do.
We knew we were participating in something wonderful, and the fact that people are embracing it is really, it's humbling.
I'm imagining when I do take a breath, it's going to feel pretty great.
Courage sometimes skips a generation. Thank you for bringing it back to our family.
This was taken 18 years ago.
The year is 1921. England is overwhelmed by the loss and grief of World War I.
This was 03. 04, 1905, lastly 06.
Hoax exposer Florence Cathcart visits a boarding school to explain sightings of a child ghost. Everything she believes in unravels as the missing begin to show themselves.
Let me tell you something, ghost lady. It's living you want to watch out for. Not the dead.
This spooky thriller stars Rebecca Hall, Dominic West and Imelda Staunton. Shot in Scotland and London, this is an autumn chiller of an entirely different kind.
You like the brandy?
Best I ever tasted.
Case of that says you can't have Nicoletta before the first night.
The Big Picture was on hand for a special screening of new British movie First Night in London, and the cast and crew were more than happy to fill us in on the film and what you can expect.
It's a romantic comedy, but instead of most romantic comedies, you have the kind of male lead and the female lead, and then you have somebody else, another woman and the man down you, it's a triangle. And this is much more sort of multi-layered. There's a lot of relationship.
My character she's the housekeeper and she runs the stately home. So she likes everything done just so. And suddenly this whole troupe of opera singers, as she calls them, sort of vagabonds, arrive. And so she gets a bit put out.
It's a great, fun film. It's very British and I love those kind of Brit comedies.
I think it's got everything. I think it's romantic, it's funny, it's beautiful, the surroundings are beautiful, the music's gorgeous, and there's a gorgeous Rottweiler dog, so the dog lovers will love it too, hopefully.
And life imitate art. What do you think, Phil?
First Night.
See? See, it was your own reflection. When Trish turned on the light, it wasn't a man, it was you, little one, it was you.
Jim Sheridan, the man behind critically acclaimed films In America, In the Name of the Father and My Left Foot, directs Daniel Craig and Rachel Weisz in this supernatural thriller.
Hey, Will, come here. Look at that. Wonder where they are now.
Once upon a time, there were two little girls who lived in a house.
Michael Shannon plays a young husband plagued by a series of apocalyptic visions and questions whether to shelter his family from a coming storm or from himself.
I'm doing this for us. I know you don't understand.
It's one of the most talked about films at the 2011 London Film Festival.
I think it's a very authentic film. It's a very honest movie. At the time, I had just started a family myself. I felt like I could identify with some of what Curtis was going through in terms of wanting to protect your family and keep them safe in this crazy world we live in.
His wife is played by Jessica Chastain, possibly the most sought-after actress in Hollywood right now.
Oh, she's phenomenal. I mean, she's going to be a huge star. She's a very kind person, which makes it a lot easier.
This is only the second film for director Jeff Nichols, but both have starred Michael Shannon in the lead role, and Shannon's also signed on for Nichols' third film.
Just finished doing a part in his next movie that he's shooting right now, called Mud. That one's starring Matthew McConaughey. He's actually working with some real big movie stars now, so I'm excited for him.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
that's November. Until next time, sit back and enjoy the movies now that we've put you in the big picture.